you're enjoying this content, hit that subscribe button. Join us. All right. Good morning, everyone. It's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name's Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a 26-year veteran of the comic book industry. I draw comic books, world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Humble. Great big Star Wars fan and trusted member of the media. Dude, she hasn't learned anything. This woman hasn't learned nothing. And that is why it is inevitable that she's going to go. And that is what the Hollywood Reporter is reporting right now. It's really not looking like Kathleen Kennedy is going to be re-signed for another 3 years after her 2021 contract expires. Looks like she's on her way out, and for good reason. She still doesn't get it. She still doesn't understand what her mistakes consisted of. Starting with destroying Star Wars. I mean, that's all. She had one job, and that was to not destroy Star Wars, and she blew it. Star Wars boss Kathleen Kennedy is still defending the means by which Star Wars was destroyed. It was destroyed by a round-headed buffoon with Last Jedi in San Francisco. Is that where they are? Is that where Lucasfilm is, up in that area? God, yeah. Do you see that map of San Francisco that like shows you where all of the reported fecal matter, human fecal matter is? The entire city is brown. And I'm telling you something, Lucasfilm ain't helping. Coming into the release of The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars fans are coming off a heated and polarizing debate that Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi fueled. Most people hated it. The people who say that they like it don't like Star Wars. And they're just doing it to say, F you, fascists. You guys are fascists. That's all. You just don't appreciate, that women should be in Star Wars too. They should. They should be in Star Wars. There's never been a woman in Star Wars before Rian Johnson introduced Star Wars The Last Jedi. How dare you? Episode 8 faced all sorts of criticisms following its release, but who can deny the writer-director subverted and challenged what could be expected in a Star Wars chapter? Yeah, it's supposed to make $2 billion. It's supposed to be beloved. It's supposed to be rewatchable. It's supposed to sell merchandise. He subverted all of my expectations. All of them. I think he subverted Lucasfilm's expectations too. It made half as much money as The Force Awakens. 2 years later, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy is still defending it. Still, I mean, that's how you know that this is agenda-oriented. This movie is agenda. It's like if you don't like The Last Jedi, these people think that that's something that needs to be fixed, and that's something that's wrong with you, not them. It identifies you as somebody who opposes their weirdo narrative and all of their scheming. And here's Kathleen Kennedy. I love what Rian did. It's an absolutely wonderful movie. I think he's an extraordinary filmmaker. And I really appreciated the bold moves that he did make. I think people forget that, especially when you're doing a trilogy structure. The first movie is setting things up, and the second is usually the conflict, and the third is the resolution. So you're bound to have that second movie much the same way. Don't even say much the same way Empire Strikes Back. Do not compare Last Jedi with Empire Strikes Back. How dare you? Probably the darkest and most dramatic of the three. We talked about it with Indiana Jones. We did Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then we did Temple of Doom. Yes, you did, Kathleen Kennedy. You played a go-go dancer in the Temple of Doom. Did you guys know that? Kathleen Kennedy is actually in Temple of Doom. She's singing Anything Goes with Willie in the beginning. She's dancing in a skimpy outfit. Don't. It's better that you don't go back and find that. It's better that you don't realize that that's Kathleen Kennedy. It will haunt your nightmares forever and ever. We did Raiders of the Lost Ark, then we did Temple of Doom, which was dark and Temple of Doom was hilarious. I don't know what you mean by dark. That was the funniest of the 3 Indiana Jones movies. It was very funny. Chill the monkey brains. All right, and people were surprised at where it went with the storytelling, but frankly, that's the whole point. Interesting, it says. Kathleen Kennedy still stands by the decisions made in The Last Jedi, despite all of the backlash. All right, so this is the thing. It really does take a hard-headed individual to not recognize that the movie The Last Jedi and your choice to hire Rian Johnson basically killed Star Wars. It killed Star Wars, and now it's crawling up out of the grave. You've got Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, working on The Mandalorian, bringing out that baby Yoda, and trying to win back fans, and doing it the way that you do it. This is how you win back fans. You make good Star Wars content that's fun, good stories, and if you want women, if you want female viewership, Baby Yoda. Bring in that Baby Yoda. Make The Mandalorian kind of... It's like 3 men and a baby, but it's just 1 man and a baby. I hope The Mandalorian is a man. I hope so. There's been some question about that. How wonderful is that? Ladies love that. And in the meantime, you got some kick-ass Mandalorian action. It's a winner. It's a winner. All right, Kathleen Kennedy does not understand that. She doesn't get it. She does not understand what she did wrong. So she did this great big interview with Rolling Stone magazine. It is being mined for material right now. If you want to look inside of the brain of someone who absolutely was handed something that she didn't belong in charge of. I mean, she was never qualified to do Star Wars ever, ever, ever. She wasn't qualified for that. She was qualified to bring coffee to the person who was going to take over Star Wars. And God willing, that person is going to be Jon Favreau. All signs are pointing to the fact that Jon Favreau, assisted by Dave Filoni, and by the way, a lot of people said Dave Filoni's an animation guy, Ethan. I don't think he can do the live action stuff. Oh, yes, he can. Oh, yes, he can. Those Star Wars movies are live action cartoons. The Mandalorian looks great. People are comparing it to like his animated style of storytelling. It's working out pretty darn well. And honestly, Jon Favreau seems to capture the spirit. Everything that he does, I think, captures something that. Look at Iron Man, for example. I mean, the way he launched the Iron Man franchise. No, I mean, Iron Man was kind of a C-level Marvel character before. And people liked Iron Man, but now he is A-list. He's A-list because Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. were able to get in there and then launch the fantasy about what it would be like to be a billionaire with access to ultimate technology. They made it believable. They grounded it. And Iron Man is now a gigantic, it was a gigantic movie franchise. They really should do more. Same thing here. Same thing with The Mandalorian. I do believe that Jon Favreau is going to take over Kathleen Kennedy's job, assisted by Kevin Feige, assisted by Dave Filoni, the 3 wise men. Make it happen. Get this woman out of here. Her stubborn refusal, her idiotic refusal to understand what she did wrong. All of her crazy, chaotic hirings and firings, her bizarre misunderstanding of what Solo was going to turn out to be under Lord and Miller, coming in 85% of the way through the film, firing those 2 guys and bringing in Opie Cunningham to finish it. What is wrong with this individual? And then to step back and still say, after all of the fans, and by all I mean 80%, the other 20% aren't real fans. I don't know. I won't make that statement. Okay, fine. Maybe some real fans do like The Last Jedi, but I haven't met any. To come in there and still defy, let's just say it's 50-50, to come in and still defy that 50% of fandom that's telling you that this movie, not only was it just kind of a bad entry, it wasn't just a bad entry in the Star Wars saga, it was something that killed their enthusiasm for a lifelong hobby. Shameful that you're still defending it. You know what? You don't have to say anything, Kathleen. You don't have to say anything about it. Just let it die. Let that thing die. All right, so very good. What we've learned is Kathleen Kennedy is a rock-headed idiot, and that's what we've always believed she was. Still defending The Last Jedi after all this time. She's got to go, and I think she is going to go in 2021. Her replacements are already coming in there and making all the moves, and hopefully from here it'll get better. We just have to get over the hurdle of Star Wars Episode 9, which is looking like it's going to be a monstrosity. We'll see. It's less than a month away. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe to this channel. We need you here. Double check and make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube is doing some weirdness, some shenanigans with the algorithm. They're unsubscribing people without their permission. Make sure that they didn't do that to you. Hit that subscribe button again. Resubscribe. Don't miss any Star Wars content as we march towards Star Wars Episode 9, which is going to be an interesting experience. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hello.
hey, I got a P.O. box. Want to send me some mail? Send it to Ethan Van Sciver, P.O. Box 607, Marlton, New Jersey, 08053. And I'll probably open it up on the live stream. Thanks very much, everyone. Hey, you want to follow me on Twitter? Are you sure? Well, if so, I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. That's at Ethan Van Sciver. See you there.